Mooney Ward, still personal. Nick Bosa, hip, won't practice. Trent Williams, ankle/rest, won't practice. Conley, hamstring limited. Feliciano, knee limited. McCaffrey, Achilles limited. Go ahead.
Does that mean that McCaffrey's Achilles acted up after this game?
No. Nope.
This is part of the regular maintenance of it?
Yeah.
Bernardo Green's good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
What's any latest on Charvarius, how he's doing, and when you'd expect him back?
I think he's getting close. Just talking to him. I don't want to put a date on it because you never know if that could change or not, but he's told us sooner than later, and hopefully he'll be in a good place to come back.
How happy are you to get the deal done with Deommodore?
Oh, pumped. Something we tried to do in the offseason. Didn't get it done. They started working on it here a few weeks ago, and for them to finish it up yesterday, so pumped. Can't say enough about Deemo. He's exactly what we want as a Niner. His style of play, how good he's become, and really just how much he loves football, and he's the same dude every day. So I know we were pumped, the guys were pumped. It was huge.
What do you think about his journey? Because it was kind of up and down at the beginning, and then where he's come to now.
Yeah, that first year he got thrown in early and had a tough mistake on one of the last plays of the game versus Green Bay. Giving up a big last play that they could kick a field goal. I remember after that, I was talking to him about it this morning, lost his confidence a little bit after that, just was down making a big mistake and really never got it back that year. But it was that OTAs, he was a different guy right away, and ever since that rookie year, he's been a stud for us every year.
Is he one of the most confident players on the team now?
Yeah, I believe so. I think I don't think there's that much difference between him this year and last year. I thought he played at such a high level last year. I don't think everyone talked about it as much. And he's taken off right where he left off last year and only gotten better. And the way he's been playing all year with his confidence, his physicality, he's been one of our best.
He had a really loud stop in the run game. Well, what can you say about how well he's kind of taken that nickel role specifically for run fitting?
He's got the mindset to do all that. He's got a mindset very similar to Jimmy Ward's. Just how he plays, how much he loves the physicality, how much he can cover, but he wants to play like a linebacker and really be a part of all that stuff. And he stuck out our first day of rookie camps when he got me fined like a lot because he jammed people too hard and then put it on the internet. So that was the first time I ever got mad at him, but I was really excited about it, despite what it took away my kids' college tuition. But it showed we had the right type of dude, and he's always been like that. The fact that he can play nickel inside and play the way he does and play and cover guys outside is the types of guys you want in the secondary and a special type of corner.
Bosa said he's matured this year. He hasn't had to pull him back out of brawls this year or like starting stuff up. Have you seen that maturity as well?
I think so. I think Demo's always been a fighter. You can go back and hear the reports from college, some things that have happened in the practice field, a couple in games. But I think he's really realized that he's ready to fight at any time, but you don't need to fight on a football field. You can get as close as you can, but you're always playing football, and whatever he does before or after, he's not going to get a penalty for, so you can deal with that.
Have you reminded Deemo that maybe with that new contract that he should kick some your way?
I will. My kids will.
Do you see elements of him and Bernardo Green? Are those two guys similar?
Yeah, I think so. Just the mindset we're talking about. Renardo in his rookie year, like he has got that type. When we drafted Renardo, it's one of my first notes on him. If I go back to my notes, is he'd rather hit you than get a pick, and that's we want both. But we love guys who are wired that way, and not all corners are wired that way. You got to be able to cover people, but if you can do both, that's what makes a football team better.
Does he have more of a quiet confidence?
Demo? Yeah, he doesn't talk that much. I think he does. I think he doesn't open up to everybody. But the longer he's been here, like you get in a smaller room with him, you get one-on-one, he'll talk just like Demo. I didn't think Demo talked at all, and now it's hard to not hear him. So guys change throughout everything. Rookies are always a little bit more quiet. I think that is his personality some, but all you got to do is call him in your office and have a one-on-one with him, and he doesn't mind talking.
How would you characterize the level of concern with Kittle and Bosa?
Not too high. Bosa was able to get through it last week. Kittle, I expect to have him out there tomorrow. It's just irritated. We'll be smart today, but you never know how the week goes, but I feel pretty good about both of them.
How about Wishnowski? You guys brought in, had O'Donnell?
Yeah, I am a little more concerned with that. You know, bothered him earlier in the year, pretty bad back to training camp, and it's flared up here this last week. And so we'll see how this week goes, but I mean, that's why we brought in another guy. So hopefully it'll take a turn for the better here, but right now we have some concern.
What did you guys like about O'Donnell? He's obviously been around a while.
We work everybody out, and he was the guy we felt that was the best of the available options. So he's been around in the league for a while. He understands, you know, the timing of everything. He's a really good holder. You know, you bring in a good punter, and he's not as good of a holder. That's a problem too, because it affects the kicker a lot, how good those holders are. So he's always been great at that, and you always like guys who've been and done it before.
With special teams as a whole, have you made any changes in terms of practice time or devoted meeting time to it, just in terms of trying to get that unit going to where you want it, or will you in the coming weeks?
Yeah, it's, you know, we devote a lot of meeting time and a lot of practice time. You know, we don't double down on that, the time spent on it, because I feel like we do as much as we can. We have mixed a lot of guys in there. We do feel like guys have gotten better, but it only takes one mistake to cost somebody, and it only takes one person. You know, you look at the Seattle game that we had last time, you know, if you go back and you watch all the film, I thought that was one of our chances to have our best special teams game of the year. You know, we caused 2 turnovers, got both of them. Only one counted, you know, with the replay stuff. But we had one missed tackle on a big kick return, and then they had that second one, and you just have those 2 plays, and it's can cost you a game. So I do think guys are getting better and stuff, but we got to make sure that we don't make those dumb plays where we can cause a penalty, or we can cause a turnover, and those are the things that we really got to clean up.
How difficult is that there's only so much you can do. Obviously, you have 53 guys in a practice squad, but like, how difficult is it to try to just generate that improvement from within on something like that?
It's real difficult. I mean, you got the choices you got, and as guys get in right when you get comfortable with somebody, and you know, you start out the year playing a lot of young guys, and you think they'll get better as the year goes, and then some of your vets get hurt, and now those young guys are, you know, starters, and so that bumps other guys up, and you know, it hurts their development when they try to do both, because they needed a lot more reps, but as they get more pressure on them for offense and defense, it's tough. You got guys like, you know, even like Jordan Mason, he was one of our best special teams players last year, and you know, he's been our starting running back for 8 of the games until last week. So all that stuff is a trickle-down effect. You know, you try to get practice squad guys up who you think can help, but they better, you know, one guy gets hurt and they don't know a position, that can cost you a game too. So all that's challenges everyone has with special teams. You also aren't going to do a bunch of live stuff and full field stuff, because you might get a little bit better, but you'll hurt your team before you even started. So it's stuff you just constantly harp on, constantly talk about. We get some of the mistakes we made earlier in the year, which puts all eyes on it, and that's why each little one we do now, it only builds the pressure on those guys. But I do like how they're kind of all committed to fix it, and they're all working real hard, but we got to do better.
Christian came back this week, and you guys got a bunch of explosives. Is it cause and effect, or what did the film show?
I don't think. I'm not even sure. I could be wrong. I'm sure you're right. I felt like we had less explosives than usual. Was that wrong?
Well, every weapon on the team had one explosive.
Oh, well, I think that stuff helps. I mean, it's, you know, anytime you have like really good players out there, I mean, all those guys are going to do good until they try to take one away. And whenever you try to take one away, it helps out somebody else. And the better the player is, the more that space it helps for other people. And if it isn't helping other people, then it's the more space that player has. So the more great players you can have out there, the better looks everyone's going to have.
At halftime, Aaron Andrews said she had talked to you, and you said you actually wanted to play Christian more in the first half because it was hot. You didn't want to kill him. How much more did you want to play him?
I didn't exactly know the numbers. I think whatever the 4 plays he wasn't in. No. When I'm sprinting off a field and I have like 8 minutes to go in and pee, come up with 8 plays to talk to the offense, get all the tendencies, give a huge rah-rah speech to give us back out for a second half, my thoughts aren't always there when I'm running and talking to someone, and that's why I hate when they put me on TV. I'm not the most social at those times, and I'd rather go in there and work on my job. So, but yeah, I'm sure I did say that. I guarantee I did if Aaron said it, but I didn't know the numbers at the time either. I thought we had him out for a couple drives. You know, we did take him out a couple times, and but the numbers weren't as, it felt like 100 plays he was out, but I think it was only like 4 or 5.
The way Moody bounced back from 3 misses and finished it off right. Did you talk to guys about just turning negatives into a positive situation?
Yeah, always. And that's some stuff we talk about all the time. I mean, no one has a perfect game ever that I've seen. I mean, kickers, I guess, can, because you're just judged on, your attempts. But I mean, just most football players, there's so many highs and lows that go in a game. Sometimes it could be in front of everybody, which usually is a quarterback or a missed tackle, a corner getting beat on something, a receiver dropping a ball, a penalty. But all that stuff's going to happen. It's about wiping it out and going to the next play, good or bad. I've had so many guys have such a I've been around guys who it's the opposite too. You're unbelievable for 3 quarters. You do all this good stuff. You're feeling good, great about yourself, and then you don't look the ball in and you drop it on a crucial play in the fourth, and that's all anyone remembers, and that's all the team remembers, because that's the one that looks like it cost the game. So everything is about not being too high or too low, and just staying even keel and worrying about whatever happened once you get in the locker room and watch the tape.
I tragically missed the Monday conference call, but I had a follow-up for you. You said Tabor overreacted, probably, not misreading the situation. I mean, did Deebo also overreact?
Yeah, you can't throw whatever type of punch that was. You can't do that. I mean, Deebo, where Tabor overreacted was what I was saying is Deebo wasn't saying anything bad to the kicker. And Tabor was overprotective of the kicker, which I like his intentions, but he misinterpreted it, and he got too close to Deebo, which was irritating to Deebo. And there was other ways he could have got him out of his face instead of the way he did. But there was nothing between Deebo and Jake, and to watch him kind of graze Pepper and fall into Jake, and it just looked like that he's punching Jake because he missed a field goal. That could have been avoided. I didn't mind at all what Deebo said to Jake, and Jake didn't mind it either. But regardless of what happens, you don't throw a punch, and you see what happens when that happens.
Evan Anderson had a big tackle at the end of the game. Are you guys getting more out of him than you would have expected from an undrafted rookie?
Well, yeah, when you have an undrafted rookie, you hope that you don't have to put him in too much. But it's just like everything. When there's injuries, it's next man up. And you hope you don't have too many, so you don't have to keep going outside the building. He showed some good things in training camp. We hope he didn't have to get in too fast, but once guys got hurt, he was the next man up, and each game he has gotten better in. We were excited about him to begin, but you never know where a guy's going to go till he gets his op, and he's gotten better each week. I thought last week he played a hell of a game. That play at the end was great. We called a stunt on it, which there was some movement, and I thought it was a good call by Nick, and he made the play by missing 2 and getting back there, and made some good plays in the last game too. So we've been real happy with him. We've needed him to step it up like this, because with the injuries, it's hard to be successful if those guys don't come in and at least do their job, and then hopefully as they do their job, they get better.
Rock Yassin had taken a defensive snap all year until he gets in the field and there's a penalty, but then he makes a play at the end. I mean, what say about a guy to be ready after all that time not playing?
No, I can't say enough good things about Rock. Like Rock is such a football player. He's always locked in. He's ready to go, never pouts if he doesn't get an opportunity. When he does, he looks like he's been in there all game. I mean, just the question you guys were saying earlier about the mental toughness of the kicker and things like that. That's what I mean by everybody. I mean, he had a big penalty a few plays before that. He had 4 on that drive, and then the final third down goes to him one-on-one. And, if you're worrying about your penalty earlier, there's no way he covers him on that. No one was underneath him. He was on his back, and he still had to attack him and get his hand in there and almost caused a pick. So there was a lot of guys who made some mistakes at times, and especially in that fourth quarter, from the kicker to the defense to Brock to everyone, made some big plays to get us back and win that. All right, thanks, guys.